Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Helen, in case you're new here. And if you guys are coming back, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about the Medicube Age-R Booster Pro device, and I'm super excited to talk about them because I've been working hard for these past 5 weeks trying to analyze my skins. I actually want to show you guys my notes that I've been taking for you guys. It's insane. I did not take this much notes when I was in college. This is insane. But I'm going to show you my notes. This is detailed notes from week every day for 5 weeks. It's 21 actually pages. It's actually really long. And so today I'm going to be sharing about the Medicube device into 3 different categories. And the first category is going to be about Medicube App. And the second thing I'm going to be talking about is going to be my experience of using the Medicube devices for 5 weeks. Lastly, I'm going to be talking about whether or not if I think the Medicube device is worth it or not. So here's what I'm going to be starting off with, which is the app. So the app is actually very interesting. It's a very social media kind of presence. What you do there is you can talk about your experience. If you have any questions, people just answer them for you. And on top of it, you can upload shorts. So let me just show you a little bit. So the app is Age-R app. So the interesting thing about the Medicube Age-R Booster app is that you can only connect it to the Booster Pro. And that was kind of sad because I wanted it to connect to my line care device and everything, so I can just control it and everything. But only connects to Booster Pro. The things you can do there is that you can just take your attendance here, and you can get points for doing attendance to play a game called the elephant game, which is where you kind of just play this thing called, I think it's the popular game merging right now. And then you have a personalized routine that they give you for what you can use for 2 weeks, or you can just make it yourself and you just follow through with it. And how you do that is that you go down here and then you can say, I did this, and it will just go okay, go complete other missions. And then it just tells you to complete these tasks. And oftentimes it's just what, write a before and after review, or write a comment, or record a before and after picture, or a checklist. So I'll just show you guys a little bit of an example. You can go to personalized care, create my own routine. So you create your own routine, and then you can just choose a random thing here, and then you go to next, and then it will just kind of go you will kind of just choose when. It would normally ask you what devices. Anyways, it will usually tell you a 2-week recommendations for your experience of using the Medicube device, or other things. So that's just one thing about the app. So there's a lot of tasks you can do there, and I think the purpose of it is to keep you engaged to do more. It's just pretty much what the app does. So my personal opinion towards the app is that I just like how it can just connect to the Booster Pro like this. It'll just connect, and then you can just control the colors that you want for the LED light, and you can control the vibration on or off, sound, and then the level 2, level 3, level 4. So you can just mainly control your Booster Pro device onto the app and use it for your own personalized care depending on the LED light color and then type, and you can also just control which features it's gonna have that day. So it was a really nice experience to discover that. It was just really convenient because sometimes I felt I didn't want to just have I wanted more elasticity, or sometimes I wanted more volume care. So I can just go onto the app, change the LED feature depending on whatever care I'm doing, and just make sure that my skin is just getting that volume care that I wanted. And the second thing I wanted to talk about is now my experience on what I thought towards the Medicube devices. And this is going to be very interesting, so very try to follow along as much as you can. So my overall experience with the Booster Pro has been very positive. First week off the bat, I was able to notice that the booster mode was really helping skin elasticity and firmness the fastest. And then the second thing that I started to notice really fast was that my acne scars has been fading tiny bit over time. It wasn't so drastic, but I just did notice that it was a little slight different color when I was comparing it daily. And then one of my favorite features from the booster modes, which I'm going to be sharing right now, there's at least 5 different modes, which is Aerosol mode, booster mode, derma shop, and microcurrent mode. Oh, actually, is that 4? Yeah, so there's only like 4 modes. Air shot mode was supposed to be like an electrical needle-free treatment to really help zap the pores. And one of the things I kind of noticed about this was that you have to be extremely careful when you're using this, especially near the nose area. So when I was using this device and I was like getting near like right here, because it tells you to do it here, they tell you to go this way, and I almost actually zapped my eye. So be extremely careful when you're doing that. I highly recommend to turn it upside down and get to that spot right there, and be extremely careful. Like that's one thing I had my concern about the air shot mode. And in the first experience of using it, it felt like really painful, like, and it didn't feel like really painful, but it just did feel like tiny electrocutions going to my skin. And then the thing I noticed the most in the beginning was that it kind of made my facial hair smell like it was burning. So that was like one thing you just want to be really aware of when you're using the air shot mode, is that you want to be extremely careful and mindful how you're using it. And the second thing you want to notice, it's gonna smell like your facial hair is burning on the first day. After like the first week, my facial hair did not smell like it was burning, so that's just one plus. But you won't see the result until like week 2 or like week 3. So like you do have to wait a while. It is a process, it's an ongoing process. And then the second mode that I'm going to be talking about is the booster mode. Booster mode was my favorite, especially when you change the LED lights depending on what your care is going to be that day. And I honestly found that out in the second week of my experience of using Booster Pro. And one of my favorite things about changing the LED lights, so each light actually curates to whatever treatment and care you want for your skin. So you can just choose from that and just like make sure that you are like getting the care that you want for that. And the different colors do stand for different things. And booster mode was just really helpful in the way to really help my skin and really like help the skincare really penetrate through. And it did help my skin feel like it was really drinking and eating the product. The next mode I wanted to talk about was microcurrent mode, which is one of the volume. It's known for a volume care and also for a lifting effect. Like a tiny vacuum sucking my skin as it was going up. And I did have like a lot of times where I felt like mode 2 felt a little bit too strong, and the mode 1 felt like it was a little bit like the difference between using mode 1 and mode 2 was like the most drastic for the microcurrent mode, which I felt like the microcurrent level 1 was a little bit more. Once I started get used to it, I moved to level 2 and I felt like it was like a little too strong. But the level 1 was not like too powerful, but you can feel that there's like a small little like vacuum suction going on to like really lift the face. I'm not really too sure if it did effect, but I feel like if it had effect, it had to be because it recommended me to use the Derma EMS shot together in the same day. So I feel like them working together was what was really helping me with the depuffing of my face for long term. But I don't know if it's like fully the microcurrent mode, because I personally liked it. I really thought that Derma EMS shot was what was really doing it, because I really felt my facial muscles were really stimulated and working the most. So I felt like that could have been possibly what has been stimulating my face to have more facial liftings. Used the Derma EMS shot, I felt like I was having a facial that day because it felt so good. It felt like my facial muscles were resting, and it was just getting what it needed for that day. The Booster Pro, you will see immediate results in the first week of using it. I felt like ever since I started using these, my face looked less puffier and dewy and like very like strong skin elasticity into my skin. So that's like the first 2 weeks of what I was really experiencing while using both of the devices And then the second thing I'm going to be talking about is the line care device. First week, I didn't really notice anything going on with the line care mode. So I just kind of like thought it was just like, oh, am I like wasting my time with this? Or like, is there anything really stimulating on my face yet with it at all? But I have to be honest, in the beginning of the second week, that's when I started to notice some change. There was a bit of a full and a numbing effect on my smile lines a lot, and a little bit on the forehead. And I never had Botox before, but I asked my sister what her experience with having Botox was, and she said it like felt full, like there was like something there, like some kind of small weight. That's kind of how I felt with the line care a bit. So I did feel like there was a huge fast result when it came to the smile lines, but for my forehead wrinkles, like I was like which is like pretty deep, I feel like it has to be used every single day to see some kind of effect. So like in the first 2 weeks of using the line care device, the fastest result is like if you have minimal wrinkles, then that's the area that's going to be working the fastest, and the ones that are deep is going to be like a long journey of using it. And then as I kept using it, I did see like some kind of results happening, but there was like a thing where I felt like if my skin was receiving too much, because I was following the 2 weeks that they recommended. In the 3rd week, my skin did feel a little bit like slightly like starts to feel a little bit like more, it did feel more firmer and more hydrated. And once it hit week 4, my skin couldn't really handle the intense care that it was receiving and how much food it was receiving in the last 3 weeks, that I decided to back out a bit and just take a break for week 4. I didn't even touch the devices, I just left it alone the entire week 4. So when I let it rest, it did show me that like my skin was still healthier and it was still hydrated. It was still felt the same. It just didn't need any more for a bit. So I just took a break. I just like stepped away from it, let my skin just get used to like, you know, doing what it needs to do. And then once it hit week 5, that's when I went back to using the device, but I didn't follow the specific routine that it needed. What I did instead was that on days when I need something specific, I will grab it and use it. So like in the morning when I look really puffy, I would just grab my Derma EMS shot and I'll just like, you know, like massage my face with it. And then like if I feel like my skin elasticity is not doing that well, which I use it every like, use each of the modes like separately, not like in the whole like routine, the hefty routine that I had. It's like booster mode when my skin is just really dry because of the weather, or like I really want to make my skincare absorb a lot faster before makeup. Like there's just like specific times I will use the devices. And one of the things I did notice the most for the line care device is that you have to actually use this consistently to see results. So this is just one thing I do use consistently throughout the whole entire week 5. So yeah, so line care device, you do have to be consistent to really see the results. I feel like using the booster mode is like you're gonna use it whenever you really need it.
This is my skin. I know. It doesn't look that bad. However, if you look closely, there are some ice pick, acne scars, and quite some amount of pores. On my forehead, I have been struggling with this acne scar for about 2 to 3 years now and want to finally demolish it. And I had this growing forehead wrinkle since middle school that also seems like it's time to say goodbye. Honestly, there hasn't been much difference when it came to my face. I did shave my widow's peak. Please ignore that portion. So anyways, there hasn't been much of a change since then. Honestly, the only thing I feel like that changed the most was the deep puffing. And I actually stopped gua shaing my face for a bit because I wanted to just see how this Age-R booster and the line care device would affect my skin and my facial muscles. So like if you look closely, like right now, like the acne texture, the pores texture has not changed much bit, but then my face does look a lot more plumper and my skin elasticity does seem stronger. But my wrinkles, like my smile lines and my forehead wrinkle, has been so bad for like actually it hasn't really much changed. Honestly, the forehead, nothing changed, but right here I feel like it got more like flattened in, thankfully. The acne scar here is gone. Dark circle seems a lot better, but this forehead wrinkle is too deep. And I personally feel like it's probably because of my daily facial expressions that I might be giving. And second of all, I feel like the reason why my forehead wrinkle hasn't shown much difference is probably because of how deep it is and it just needs Botox. But overall, I'm just gonna say this out of everything else, but I feel like my skin elasticity has just been growing stronger, but I can't really say anything much for people who have deep wrinkles or like deep wrinkles. So I think the only thing that really changed the most was my pores and my acne scars.
My overall opinion on whether or not I do feel like the devices are worth it or not. I feel like people feel like, oh, like it's just I don't have enough time to take care of my skin and everything, but like honestly, it's your skin. It's something that's gonna be like going on for a long time, and you want to see like some good results. I do recommend the Booster Pro because the Booster Pro actually has so many like features into it and so many like different types of care that you want for it. So like if you want something like a specific care and you want to like take care of your skin more often and help your skincare routine boost up more, this is the device I would actually highly recommend to people. I have actually 4 different devices that I want to get the 4 full devices before this thing came out, and that was like about 1,500, guys. No, I did not buy it. I'm so thankful I waited and something came out where like all of them is in it together, and it still works really efficiently for a device that has 4 different cares inside of it. For the line care device, I only recommend it for people who have like wrinkle concerns. Like that's just the only people I would like really recommend it to. But I do feel like the wrinkle care for this is gonna have to be consistent. If you don't have much wrinkles and you're like, oh, I want to do preventative work, you can do that with your skincare and just like making sure that you like practice your facial muscles and everything. But this one is something I would say that it is not for really like preventative work. I think this is just for people who actually have concerns of line care specifically. And I feel like you have to use this consistently. So if you're a person who is kind of like starting to see some wrinkles coming in, and you don't want to pay for Botox, and you want to have something consistent, like, and just take care of your skin every single day, I would just recommend this. So that's my personal opinion, and this is my honest review of using the Medicube device for 5 weeks. Don't forget to subscribe because if you want to see more content with me. Thanks for watching, and if you guys have any questions about the devices and what you really and that I might have like honestly like missed out on, please make sure to comment them down below, and I always do answer my comments. So if you just have any questions, just feel free to ask me. I'll do my best to answer them as fast as possible and give you from the information that I know deeply. And I hope to see you guys next time. See ya!